Yes, social media has affected my communication skills.
Social media is leading. It's leading in depression and suicide.
I fear for African values.
The youth are missing a lot of things.
Social media has changed the face of this earth and fighting off the narrative that the globe is spherical and shaping it in its own image and making it small by branding it a global village, changing the tunes that the world is accustomed to and making the world grasp its own tune. Social media is a conglomeration of online communication channels dedicated to community-based input, interaction, content sharing, and collaboration. Some of the predominant communication websites are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Within these websites, people can share memories, reconnect with friends, plan events, and communicate almost instantaneously. Sentiments shared by Dr. Lekomen, a communication expert.
People now are finding it easier to cut distance and time and be able to communicate across distances via social media. And they, of course, the advantages that social media presents make it a new way of doing things, because now you're able to, there's an instant message, you're getting the feedback, you can see the person, if you move the video, you're able to hear other people's ideas. And so, yes, unlike the other time where it was physical and you could only deal with one person at a go.
Eventually, everything has an ugly side to it. With the emergence of social media and other technological advancement, it has taken its toll on human interaction, and to the young generation, it is an improvement and it simplifies the works of communicating to each other.
Especially, you think about the youth you're looking at, they have plenty of things to do. So time is of essence. And if they can do so many things under an hour, that could work.
According to a survey, 22% of teenagers log on to their favorite social media site more than 10 times a day, and more than a half of adolescents log on to their social media site more than once a day. 75% of teenagers own cell phones, and 25% use them for social media, 54% for texting, and 24% for instant messaging. Kevin Kimaili, a student at Daystar University, elaborates how social media has hampered his communication skills.
Yes, social media has affected my communication skills, and this is how. People, when you're talking to people that face-to-face, you have human interaction. You can explain yourself, you can change the tone, but in social media it doesn't give you that tone. So it has affected it in a way whereby people misinterpret you, people don't understand you, you also don't understand other people. You think someone has talked to you harshly or rudely, while in reality they were just nice to you, and therefore you find that relationships are put in strain because of social media.
Unfortunately, there are irreparable damage if one opts to neglect human interaction. It's not just physical, it's more. Social media addiction can lead to eventual depression and an increase in anxiety when the user is comparing their lives to those of their friends, to which they are constantly being updated, and online interaction allows us to manipulate the way others perceive us. This is just the tip of the iceberg, as Ms. Mabel Odima alludes to, and there are so many culpable outcomes if one neglects human interaction, and one of them is alienation.
Social media is leading. It's leading in depression and suicide, because it's one of the things that the negative sides to it, it brings about isolation. People are glued to following up on messages. They are glued to following up on others, chatting on the social media. But then they lose the skills of normal interaction with normal human beings. So it's brought about isolation, disease among young people. It has also brought withdrawal from normal systems, and it has killed the parent-child communication. It is just that they don't have information, but there are other media of information. They are born in technology. They are born into technology, they are raised up in technology. Everything is working in the way of technology. We, the older generation, have not told them about other things. They don't have another world with, especially like the urban world. So they found technology, they think everything is technology, first world and all that.
The massive effects are not just intangible, but are also tangible ones. Culture defines every community, and in this day and age, diversity is always welcomed. Cultural traits are passed from one generation to another through the process of socialization. The 21st generation has shared a narrative that talking about their culture with their old folks is boring. Rather, they want to keep tabs on what's trending. Mr. Peter Masindano defies the analogy and advocates that our culture is an integral part in our lives.
The youth are so much into social media, and that is what is taking much of the time, and they are not engaging each other at individual level. The only way that society can actually pass cultural values is when people can then get to interact. But when we are learning from a system or from some Western concept, then we end up actually adopting Western values. I'm seeing our today's generation as tending to what we call modernization, but which is also an aspect of Westernization. So I fear for African values.
According to Forbes magazine, only 7% of communication is based on verbal word. That means that over 90% of communication is based on nonverbal cues such as body language, eye contact, and tone of voice. Technology's rampant popularization over the past decade in terms of social media has meant that texting, Facebook and Twitter have inevitably taken over as the most efficient ways of communicating with each other. Face-to-face communication, on the other hand, has big advantages over other forms of communication. For example, we are better able to control the situation we are in, speaking to the person in front of you. We are able to present points one by one, and in the process, make sure that the points are clearly communicated and understood before moving on to the next point. This can greatly increase both speed and accuracy of communication, and Joanne Bataru, a student majoring in communication, concurs.
I think the importance of human interaction mainly is to create that one-on-one, to maybe link us as human beings from one person to another, because I think when I am talking to you one-on-one, I know I have your attention, you have my attention, you can see how I'm reacting to what you're saying, you can see maybe how I'm passionate about what I'm saying. I think the youth are missing a lot of things from both business perspective as well as a human perspective. Let me look at just business, because I know a lot of young people are entrepreneurial or are looking forward to get jobs. Most of the time you'll find that a business would decide, oh, we need to meet one-on-one with the investor, or we need to meet one-on-one with this other company if we are trying to form a deal. So it's important to meet face-to-face because it shows that you value the time and energy spent by both parties coming to see each other.
We cannot undermine the fact that social media is a powerful tool. It has brought the world into a global village, but it should not defy the laws of human interaction. But if we use it properly, we can reap more benefit by maximizing on the positives and discombobulating the negatives, or we prove the analogy of one of these greatest minds. For Com466 documentary, I am Abdiaziz Hashim.